Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Pillars of Eternity, where last time we explored Hearthsong, the foreign quarters of Twin Elms, and we got permission to go to the next area, or I guess all of the areas, after we convinced the Guided Compass leader. I'm not even going to say their title, I don't know, it's like, not even going to try. But we got permission, and we're going to go see what's up in the other regions. Now, they have talked about another Estramor getting in to the other regions and messing things up. I can almost guarantee that's probably Theos, because that's what he does. He just ruins everything, that man. So we're going to have to deal with that. But before we do that, or before we go anywhere, we're going to go back to the inn. We're just going to have a little nap. Because we're tired. We are tired, and we could use a nice sleep in this beautiful inn. An absolutely wonderful inn. We also heard, upon arriving in Twin Elms, that Defiance Bay is back open. So we could go back to Defiance Bay and see what's going on there. But that seems kind of like counterproductive at the moment. We're here. Why would we go all the way back when we haven't actually accomplished what we came here to do? It doesn't make a lot of sense, so we won't be doing that.
Traveler.
Unless, until we're done here. I'd like a room, please. Of course, something with a nice view. Yes, yes, please. The Celestial Suite. I will be taking that. That sounds amazing. Ah, yes. The Celestial Suite looks just like every other room. I think it would have been cool if they had different splash arts for, like, different levels of rooms, at least. That would be neat. But I guess it probably wasn't their top priority, huh? So I can't imagine it'd be... I say this as if I know what I'm talking about, but I can't imagine it'd be that difficult to do. But I am not an artist nor a programmer, so maybe it's a very difficult thing to do. Okay, we know there's a gate this way. Step aside, I have permission. Do not try my patience, Estramor. You shall not pass without the permission of the Anamfatha. I come to see the cornerstone with the blessing of the Guided Compass. The guard scowls and looks at his companion, who nods back. He turns to you again, his knuckles whitening around the shaft of his spear. Always too cozy with the Estramoran. Go then, and mind your step around the sacred stones. I shall. Okay, so we have access to everything else except for the burial aisle. Maybe that's just because of where I'm leaving Hearthsong, I don't know. I guess first we'll go to Elm's Reach. We also got Northweald up there. That's where we have to go to warn the One People. Can't get there. So we have to leave Old Song probably to get there, or maybe from Elm's Reach. Let's go see. It takes an hour to get there, Jesus. It's an interesting city. It's probably like a lot of empty space. If it takes an hour to get there, right? I can't imagine like it's an actual city that you're walking for an hour in this place. That's kind of cool, though. I like that. It's very spread out. Okay. So what do we have? Whole bunch of things. Whole bunch of things. The Great Lioness has grown old and no longer has claim over the sacred lair in Gallowayne's Mall. Size and age cannot best skill and cunning. Huh? It could, actually. It depends on the discrepancy, right? Would you rather be strong and powerful, or wise and cunning? I don't know. Achievement. Visited every map. Excluding those in the white... Have I? I don't think so. Unless that's counting something from my previous playthrough. Spread across a lumpy pallet of straw, the hide blankets are surprisingly soft. That's nice. I don't know why I'm here, guys. I'm just taking a look around in your house. A wreath of straw woven with animal bones hangs from the shelf. Oh, I love your hospitality. Thank you very much for the mushrooms in the book. It's fantastic. You guys are so kind. That's what we should have in real life. If you wander into somebody's home, they should just have a box full of free stuff for anybody to take. It'd be great. That's hospitality. And then you'd cut off on thieving, right? You don't need to steal. There's free stuff for you to take. Look at me. I'm so smart. I've just solved our thievery problem. Assuming there's a thievery problem in the world. I've never been stolen from, so maybe there's not. Maybe it's already solved. I do know people who have had things stolen. I had a friend who had his PlayStation stolen from people breaking into their house. No bigger crime, in my opinion, stealing a PlayStation. How dare they? Okay, well. This place has a whole bunch of free stuff. Starlet Garb. What the hell is this? Light armor. It's a robe. This somber set of robes is flecked with bright shimmering points of white, in imitation of a starry night sky. It was commissioned by an aging scholar whose love of astronomy and failing eyesight pressed her to request a set of enchanted garb which would allow her to pursue her studies for years to come. Plus 10 defense against spells, plus 2 athletics. That's kind of cool. That's neat. Is that going to be better for me, maybe? It's not going to be better than my robes of the Tidebringer. Yeah, it's not. Could be better for Aloth, though. What is Aloth wearing? He's still wearing his original stuff. We can't have that, can we? Aloth. There you go, buddy. I don't even know if it's better, but it's new, so you're going to wear it. That's how efficient I am. Some camping supplies in here. Okay. Thank you for everything, everybody. I imagine that robe probably wasn't meant for anyone to take. And this seems like a very good item for to be left in the offering box. Everything else, though, I mean, camping supplies, a vial of whatever the hell we picked up, some sort of yellow substance. Stag companion, a huntress, a way out here. Okay. I like the aesthetic of this place here. It's like, like I said before when we were walking here, it feels very open. Dark Omen, even the Denimgan could not stop him. He's just a man, powerful, but just a man. Theos, he's more than a man. He has to be. How can he do the things he does? Let's see what we get in this house. Alright. Wow, you guys don't have an offering box? The fire gives off the thick, rich odor of burning peat. Alright, well, you guys suck. Stingy bastards. I'm starving out here. I have no money. Please, give me some stuff. I left all my money at Cadnua. My castle. I'm poor, but I have a castle. Alright. Well, I guess they have some free mushrooms growing on their wall. A friendly Stalgare. It's terrifying, actually. I got warriors. What's up here? Let's take a look at the map. Okay. Hall of Warriors, Blood Sands, Tyr Evron, Twin Elms, and the Golden Grove. Alright, well, let's go up here, see what's going on. Hello, all you warriors. You mind if I go into your Hall of Warriors? Oh, Arthwin, I wish I could have seen you do it. He didn't do it, he's lying. Nobody saw it, he's lying. Okay, 3 Tusk Warrioress. First Blade. Anybody with an actually unique name? Let's see. Simak. You guys are failing the rite of hospitality. Just saying. The crates contain the few necessities of a Glenfathan traveling party: furs and blankets, sturdy hide clothing, and gifts of carved Adra. Alright. The hearth still smells of freshly cooked game. Grease spatters the blackened bricks. The table is scarred and stained from years of use. Alright, let's go see what Simic says. Come to treat with the three tusks, Stelgare.
What brings you here?
A grizzled old elf, his hair braided and dyed, stands at one end of the hall. His arms and chest are cross-hatched with the pale seams of scars. His crooked smile looks like another. It's not many Estramoran who are permitted into our sacred city. Bethuel must be feeling especially soft today. Edir pays no attention to the elf and instead has locked eyes with the Stelgare in front of him, who whispers to you, "Do you think he'd mind if I pet his Stelgare?" Sagani lowers her head. Remember how well that worked out last time? Come to hear your future at Ter Evron. His smile widens, exposing a row of yellowed, crooked teeth. Or to make your own at Blood Sands. What's Blood Sands? An ancient place of sacrifice. He laces his fingers together. In a cave by the great elms themselves, Reston and his druids have been an integral part of Glenfathan society for generations. No matter what some of the other tribes might say, Glenfath has held its own against the Estramoran because some of us still understand the power of sacrifice. He gives you an appraising eye. Does the thought make you uncomfortable? It should. It is what's kept our society alive for so long. Simak crosses his arms over his scarred chest. Something else? You don't seem fond of Estramoran. His hunched shoulders straighten. I fought in the Broken Stone War and the War of the Black Trees. I saw my brethren cut down defending the places of the builders, and I shed blood alongside Galvin Regd himself. He coughs. Now the Estramoran seem to think that they will find a cure for their empty children among our sacred sites. Or, worse, that they will find sanctuary in our lands. His gaze darkens. And I have seen what happens when they set their sights on Glenfathan soil. From what we've seen, those scarred sacred sites might actually have a cure. They protect those sites because someone told them to. You wish just once they'd have the courage to question it. And this worries you? Have pity. They are only trying to save their children. Then you must fight back. Give them reason to stay away. Isn't there room for you both? And this worries you? He snorts. I've seen too many wars for this not to worry me. You've seen 2. Which I guess might be too many. I suppose that, yes. I guess seeing 2 wars is too many wars. It's maybe even too many wars. In my 250 years, I've led my people through 2 wars. Our borders have remained intact, and largely through the reputation of the three-tusked Stelgare. His voice drops to a growl. I have sired a dozen children, but none have been deemed fit to take my place. I care nothing for the legacies that obsess the Estramoran lords, but it is important that my successor continue this path. Man, it's tough to be his child, huh? Is your role hereditary? Not entirely. We believe that the souls of our ancestors come back to us, that a strong soul may bear many more, but all souls must be tested by our elders. The Rio looked first among my children for a successor, but their souls were weak. Ordinarily, they returned to the other tribes, to others in my tribes, to others in my tribe, to clan heads and their families. Ordinarily, he levels his gaze, but we share a tradition of fostering the children of other tribes, and the Anamfath of Fisher Crane has trusted his youngest to my care. He grimaces. And as none of my own blood are fit to take my place, the Rio will look next to this bog child, the kin of another Anamfath, and my foster daughter, to take my place. Bog child? His shoulders stiffen. I have nothing but respect for Fisher Crane, but their ways are not ours. The Orlans of Fisher Crane have lived in Athene Bog for 1,000 years. They are cunning and furtive by nature, which serves them well when they have swamplands to hide their movements. He crosses his arms, but this will not deter the Estremoran on open ground. When the Republics were young, we sent explorers up through Thean Bog to find a faster way through to the dwarven kingdom of White March. Few returned. He points at the warriors gathered near the fire. Our savagery has deterred the Estremoran from further encroachment. They still tell of our deeds in the Broken Stone War, but if a child of Fisher Crane leads our tribe, we will lose that boldness, and the Estremoran will lose their fear of us. The child will be influenced by the souls of her ancestors. In times of crisis, she will look to her kin and Thean Bog for guidance. No matter what I might try to teach her, it will not be enough. He considers you. There is a way you could help. Few have the stomach for it, but I think it would suit someone of your inclinations. Get to the point. This Orlan girl has the soul of a leader. If it were passed to one of my own offspring, our tribe would remain strong. Estelgare at Simok's side scratches its massive head on the Enamfath's leg. He remains steady on his feet. The druids of Blood Sands have a way to do this, and they understand the importance of a strong line of succession for the three-tusked Estelgare. Aleth's eyes narrow to slits. This sounds problematic. He gives you a key. There's a house in southeast Hearthsong next to the river. The child will be asleep, and I've arranged for her to be unattended for a time. His voice becomes a quiet rumble. Take her and bring her to Keeper Werda in Blood Sands. She knows what must be done. When she presents you with the liquid essence, bring it back to me. Very well, I'll help you. I won't do this. What will Keeper Werda do with a child? Do with the child. His scarred face twists again. Have you seen the rituals of Blood Sands? Nope. She will sacrifice her. It is the only way to distill her essence. Zigani looks Simic up and down. I could take him. She looks to you. Please, let me take him. The Orlan child? Go on. I don't see why you need me to do this. How can you possibly expect to get away with this? Yeah, how can you expect to get away with this? Few know the girl is here, and one Orlan babe will look much the same as the next, he shrugs. But let me worry about this. I don't see why you need me to do this. Why can't you do it, you coward? Because I cannot do it without attracting undue attention, he frowns. I don't relish passing my own burdens onto another, but this will incite war between our tribes if I'm caught. No offense, but I feel like people would notice an Estremoran taking a Glenfathan child to be sacrificed. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm being watched pretty heavily, buddy. I don't think this... You have not thought this through. Tell me about the potion that you need from Wordha. Essence bound and distilled into a liquid. It will have little immediate effect on me, but it will weave stronger souls in my future issue. And where can I find this child? She's staying in a house in Hearthsong. Follow paths to the southeast side of the district until you reach the river. I should kill you for this. The Stelgares at his side growls, surrounded by my best warriors. That would be unwise. I think I could take him, but do I want to help him and try to like stab him in the back? I don't like this guy. Like, what an asshole. Is it my business though? Not really, right? I think we're just gonna stay out of it. I won't do this. I do not relish the deed, but 2 centuries of leadership have taught me that all things bear a cost. He nods once. Consider it well, Estremor. I'm not above rewarding those who are of service. Tell me about the three-tusked Stelgare. The boldest and fiercest of the 6 great tribes of Irglanfath. It was we who first defended against the Estremoran who came to shore 200 years ago. He raises his chin. We have always been the border tribe, and it has always fallen to us to hold the line against outsiders and invaders. What do you do here? As Anampath of Three-Tusked Stelgare, I guide our tribe in all matters. He looks to the main room of the hut, where others have gathered. I am in Twin Elms to confer with some of the other Anampatha about the Onolfen, your Hollowborn. We only have such births here on occasion, but it has made us more vigilant about our neighbors. One Stelgare stretches. flexing its claws. Simak's eyes narrow. There are some of us who believe your Onolfin to be a punishment for the defilement of the builder's sites. Others say it is a plague carried by the Estramoran. A plague of the soul? An interesting concept, but it hasn't spread beyond the boundaries of the Deerwood. Goodbye. Fetch the Orland child from a house in southeast Hearthsong. Okay, I can do that without talking to him, huh? I wonder if I can, I don't know. Though simple and unadorned, the blades are made of sharp and finely tempered steel. Hello? Lyris. A young man approaches you with a swift and purposeful stride. While you've never met him before, he has the same stern, wild look as Simak. He doesn't speak until he's right next to you. When he does, his voice is quiet. Wait, I saw you speaking with my father. Say nothing. He glances back at the room with Simak. He's asked you to sacrifice Vela, hasn't he? He grits his teeth. Maybe he's right about Three Tusks Stelgar growing weak, but if this is the price of strength, it isn't worth it. The tribes have survived this long because we've stuck together. Sagani does a double take. Kid, are you sure that old elf's your father? I would never hurt the child. He sighs. You do not seem like one who would, but my father will find someone who will. He doesn't give up on an idea easily. He sighs, again. But there may be a way to stop him. He frowns. There's an herbalist among the Ovates of the Golden Grove. Bleda, that's her name. They all gather southeast of here, by the river. She could brew a potion. Simak wouldn't know the difference until it's too late. There's the family resemblance. There's an easier way to kill Simak, you know. Yeah, there's an easier way to do this. His warriors would surround you in no time. Besides, it's simplest if this happens quietly. Why not just return this child to her birth parents? It's complicated. A child sent to be fostered by another tribe isn't allowed to return. Unfortunately, explaining that we were shielding her from my father would make matters much worse. For both tribes. He tugs at a thin braid. You want me to murder your father? No. But it's better than allowing him to murder this child. Let me guess, if Simak dies, you're next in line? It's not like that. The Rio have already determined that my soul isn't strong enough. Whoever follows my father, it won't be me. I feel like my initial stance was stay out of this. It's not our concern. However, this guy has brought up the fact that Simak will try to get somebody else to murder the child if I don't do it. So, do we get involved to save the child even though it's not our concern? This is a tough one. Because I don't want to get involved in tribe politics, right? We want to try and keep a low profile until we find Theos. Because we need to be allowed to wander the city at our own whim to find Theos. And if we get involved in politics, it might stop that from happening, right? However, are we going to just ignore the fact that a child could die for this guy's ambition to have his own line carry on the mantle? Because that's what he wants, right? He wants one of his children to take over. But none of his children are strong enough, so he wants the soul of the child to be infused with his essence so that his next child might have a better chance at being... Yeah, and this is all speculation from him, too. He doesn't even know if it's going to work, right? It might just end up he still doesn't have a strong enough child, and they have to get another child from another tribe and do it all over again. Honestly, I think Klesi would probably just rather kill him straight up rather than poison. If she's going to do it, right? But I suppose Lyris wants to keep the tribe as strong as possible, and if I kill all their best warriors, that's not good either, right? So I suppose I can understand where he's coming from. I'll poison your father. With another glance at Simak's chambers, he backs toward the door. Like I said, you'll find Bleda in a golden grove. Good luck. Yep. And this isn't a bad idea at all. There's no way this is not going to work, right? It's going to be simple. I'm going to give him the potion. He's going to drink it instantly. He's going to die as soon as I walk out the door. Nobody's going to suspect a thing. That's actually a good point. I feel like all of his guard would be like, hey, you poisoned him, right? And I'm going to be like, nah, it wasn't me. It was something else. He drank a mysterious potion. And, you know, it wasn't me, though. Alright. So, the Golden Grove is over here, but the Estramoran will not cease their attacks. We must summon the warriors from every tribe. Must you? Beware, brother. Their lands would soak red, and so would our souls. Okay. This is the Golden Grove, right? Iswild earned my trust. Why do you continue to support Arona? The High Ovate has tended to the grove for centuries. Alright, there's Bleda. And now abandons it to journey away from Twin Elms much too often. Okay. No internal politics. The elf holds a chipped wooden pipe. The sweet smoke wafting from the bowl makes you dizzy. Welcome, Estramore. I've got herbs and potions for sale. Looking for something to ease your travels, or something to make them more interesting? When she grins, you see her teeth and gums are stained brown. White leaf. Nice way to spend an afternoon. And the following night, and most of the next day. I hear that you can make certain poisons. She takes a deep draw on her pipe. Poisons? Only deal in tonics that heal and enlighten. She exhales a puff of smoke. Of course, many beneficial substances can be harmful when taken in great quantities, but that's just Wertha's way of keeping all things in balance. Really? What kind of substances? She leans against the winding tree trunk and ticks the items off her fingers. Oh, there's plenty. Concentrated Caragolum, undistilled spider venom, rotten blood moss extract, cave coral mixed with skein bone. I'd like some concentrated Caragolum. I don't know, which one do I get? Can I get a little bit of all of it? If I get all of that and mix it all together, would that create like a super poison? Are we supposed to know which one to get? I don't remember him saying anything in particular. I guess we want something that looks kind of bloody, right? Maybe? Or soul-like? Do you have any rotten blood moss extract? She stops counting and scratches her head. That's a strange thing to want, but I suppose it's stranger still that I have some. What would you want with this? Well, my friend Starlet is dying and he wants to ease the creature's passing. Shrug. My friend Starlet is dying. She frowns, her teeth clamped around the pipe. Poor thing. Here, take this. She gives you a vial filled with a dark fluid. It works slowly, but this will send him back to the cycle kindly enough. Just see that it doesn't get misplaced. Half that dose would kill an Amawa. She taps ash from her pipe into the grass. Was there anything else I can do for you? Let's see your stock. What you got in here? Anything cool and interesting? Nope. Okay. Alright. Trick Simic into drinking the poison. Easy, right? That should be simple. Golden leaves flash and shine as they fall from the trees.
Many blessings, traveler.
Though his eyes are closed and his posture still, the man before you keeps his head aimed at you, as if carefully following your movements. Hail to you! May your time in the Golden Grove be enriching. If you're in need of services, he says, eyes still closed, speak with Bleda. She will see to your concerns. What can you tell me about the Golden Grove? We are naturalists, philosophers, herbalists, and teachers. The Ovates of the Golden Grove know that true wisdom comes from the study of the natural order. We endeavor to teach others to explore the world for themselves. Farewell. Seems like a worthy goal. The bark feels warm. The roots almost seem to twine around your hand. Ovate, 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 ovate. So many ovates. Iswild. Golden leaves flash and shine as they fall from the tree. Let's go talk to Isbold. All are welcome in the Golden Grove. An elf with placid green eyes nods in greeting. Welcome to the Golden Grove, traveler.
Builder's wisdom to you.
Do you seek the wisdom of our herbalists, or simply to bask in Wertha's glory? Who leads your order? High Ovate Arona leads us. She sometimes journeys to Elmshore to renew her strength. However, she's there now with some of her closest followers, in fact. Oh, I read that wrong. Arona is a mighty elm among us. She's lived for generations. There are none who understand the world as well as she, and we are fortunate to have her wisdom to answer our questions. Tell me more about Arona. Her eyes brighten. Why, you must meet her for yourself. She is wise and kind, and she has led our order from the beginning. Yet she walks among us and gives freely of herself. She turns her gaze to the great twisting elms. That is what so many of us cherish about her. She is present among us in a way that the gods never are. Tell me about the Golden Grove. We are the Ovates, druids, philosophers, and students of nature. We gather here to share our knowledge in celebration. She gestures to another elven woman standing near the entrance to the grove. Many travelers come to us for poultices and remedies. Bleda understands the cures and poisons of nature like no other. What do you believe? We believe that knowledge is found in the earnest exploration of the natural world. She tilts her head. We do not, as some have said, oppose the gods. We simply believe that we have found a brighter, more peaceful path than devotion. I must go. Interesting. Would have been cool to play a druid. Uh-oh.
You have stayed true to our cause, Inquisitor, when so many others have not. For every heretic we confess, for every betrayer that burns on our pyres, new sheep continue to flock to Iavara Extensios. But not you. I underestimated you in the beginning, but no longer.
You honor me, Grand Inquisitor.
It is not for honor that I summoned you today, but for duty. Too many of our own have confessed upon the wheel and the rack and the flame. Too many of our faithful have had their minds poisoned by the Kratom witch. The tide is against us now. We have but one option. Iavara's following must see her exposed for what she is. She must confess her heresy before my court.
How would we reach her?
Not in Kratom, surely. Their lord has embraced her heathen faith and protects her with his army. But in Oceanus, things would be different. The king of Oceanus is a sinful man. We have helped him to see the error of his ways, and now he fears for his soul. He would pay any price for absolution.
But how would we get Iavara to move to Oceanus?
You have already done much for the Inquisition. I wouldn't ask this were there any other choice.
Theos puts his hand on your shoulder. Ah, you want me to... She's my sister, you bastard. Okay. Do you want to just give him the poison now? I guess we should go and give him the poison now, right? They said it's slow acting, so he shouldn't know. Assuming that, you know, he doesn't look at it and is like, this isn't a soul. This isn't essence. What are you giving me? I feel like there could be some problems with this plan. But I'm confident that even if there are problems, we can deal with it. With our strength. How do we want to set up? Let's have...
I'm ready.
You down here, just in case they,
How may I help?
Just in case they attack.
Hey.
And Itamak, go over here.
I'm here.
There we go.
Hey.
Here's the potion you asked for. He looks from the vial in your hand and back to you. Something's wrong. His eyes narrow. What are you trying to give me? This is the essence potion he asked for. Send for Warda if you doubt it. You're being paranoid because you're nervous about the deed. It's natural. It's distilled essence, really. It's poison. This is the essence potion you asked for. He reaches out with a hand gnarled by age and battle. He clutches the vial close to one faded blue eye. To my tribe's salvation. He drains the vial in one long gulp. He swallows, and after sputtering for several seconds, he glares at you. His breaths sound ragged and wet. You poisoned me. He begins to raise his hand to the warriors in the other room. I didn't, I swear. That was poison. That was poison. Gotcha. You just swallowed a mixture of concentrated essence and blood. How'd you expect that to feel? I suppose you're right. He takes a couple of slow, deep breaths. And I suppose I should thank you for your service. Safe travels, Estremor. There we go. Nice and easy. Piece of cake. What an idiot. Lyrus looks you in the eye and gives you a slow nod. Don't shut up. Stop it. Got a lot of experience with that. How close are you guys to max level? Oh, you're getting there. Well, you're getting there.
Hey.
I'm excited for everybody to get to max level because then we can go take on the master below and kick its ass. Hopefully. But it's probably still going to wreck me. But, you know, it is what it is. Okay.
All right, then.
Let's keep exploring. It's really dark in this section of this. What is this place called? What is this place called? Elms Reach. Alright, across the bridge we go. The Twin Elms have been discovered. What's going on here? Hello? You got some dryads? Sita. Two identical women seem to fade into view as they move away from the great trees that camouflage them. Their skin is tree bark, rigid and scaly, wreathed in a curling triangle of roots, buds, and blooms. Their hair hangs beneath the shade of serrated leaves, like the drooping branches of the elms above, and the pupils of their eyes are encircled by hundreds or even thousands of concentric rings, as if to mark the accumulated wisdom of millennia.
Turn around, flesh creature. Outsiders are not permitted to approach the elms.
One of them extends a snarl of roots toward you that snakes and twists together to form something like an open hand, palm down. The other stares at you unblinking as her frown deepens, her face creaks. Do you not feel it, sister? Something familiar. An ancient soul, like the other one. Another defiler, no doubt. Let us fell her and be troubled no more. It would pay the debt of her predecessor.
So it would seem, Rhiannon. But we must not hasten to judgment. I see a different motive here. Different questions in these eyes.
What of it, young trespasser? Is it as my sister says? Or are you here to stain this place with foul deeds?
I seek a man who came through here. It sounds as though you have already met him. I heard there was a commotion here and I came to investigate. My business concerns the health of this land and you would be wise to aid me. I have forgotten my purpose in the presence of such legendary beauty. Have I begun hallucinating in double? Charming. I'd gladly burn this place down, but I have more pressing concerns. I seek a man who came through here. There, by her own admission, Sita.
Really, sister? And you wonder why your leaves begin to fall out before midsummer?
Oof.
Clearly that man did not want to be followed. Whatever the relationship here, I suspect it is anything but cordial.
I think I should start opening up with like, hey, I want to stop Theos. I'm looking for him. Rhiannon opens her mouth to respond, but all that escapes her knotted lips is an exasperated rustling sigh. Sita turns back to face you.
The answer is yes, old one. We crossed paths with Theos not long ago, and we can tell you where he went. But I find it curious that anyone would seek him out. Suspicious, even. If we are to help you find him, we would know why.
I have a problem, and he's the only one who can fix it. Stopping him might end Widewind's legacy. He must face justice for his transgressions. He crossed me. I intend to get my revenge. We seem to be linked, and I need to know why. I don't fully know myself. My reasons are my own concern. It has nothing to do with you. These are always the interesting parts. Or these are always interesting, like, options. Because there are multiple ones here that fit. I think number 5 fits for her. Right? We're linked and she wants to know why. I don't know if she wants to fix being awakened. It hasn't really been, you know, it's been rather helpful, to be honest. He must face justice for his transgressions. Okay, we know that he's been killing people, right? He killed the Duke, he killed Lady Webb, he killed countless people, like personally. He seems to be, if not the creator of Wydman's legacy, at least the perpetrator of it, right? Like the person who's keeping it going, or at least amplifying it, whatever. He's involved with Wydman's legacy, so that one would work too. And then number 6 as well. I don't fully know myself. Or I don't fully know myself. Maybe not that one as much. But which one's the most pressing matter for her? I think at the beginning it was probably like we seem to be linked. I need to know why. And then it probably became, you know, he's kind of a bad guy. He needs to be stopped. And then we find out he's involved with Biden's legacy. So I think this is probably the biggest thing, right? Stopping him might end Wydman's legacy.
So that is the reason he passed this way. This is low, even for the leaden key.
I told you we should have confronted him, Sheila. He has always been a poison.
It would have been the last thing we ever did, sister. Who can be said to have ever gotten the better of Theos?
Yes, but imagine how much fun it would have been. Can't you just picture him all strung up in vines like an angry little puppet?
But that's not what this is really about, is it? You are bound to that man.
Yeah. Sheila glances over at you, and then her expression changes as though seeing you for the first time.
I see it now. You are awakened. Your soul is awake, and something once buried deep now wells to the surface. Past overwhelms present, closes in around you. Your time has nearly reached its end.
I do feel like the game could probably do a better job of making me feel like this is a bad thing for me. Or I guess as we've been traveling closer to Twin Elms, we are getting more little tidbits, little visions of my past life. But I've never really felt endangered by it. I don't know if that's just my own perception of the game. But I feel like the game could have done, like, people are saying, like, we keep getting the option is, like, I need to fix myself, sort of thing. To be honest, it doesn't feel like I need to fix myself. It feels like I'm doing fine. In fact, I'm doing better than ever, right? I have my own castle. I'm filthy rich. I'm super powerful. I have a lot of influence. I feel great, right? Things are going great. I don't have to worry about legacy because I'm a godkin, so I can't have kids anyway, so it's like, whatever. Yeah, I guess what it's trying to do is that the visions are starting to take over. I guess they're trying to represent that by me having more visions more regularly. But yeah, I just haven't really gotten that. Like, the past overwhelms the present. I don't know if you guys got that when you were playing the game, but it hasn't felt that way to me. Like, I don't feel like in any danger of being I forget his name, the Watcher from Cadnua that we found. Merwold or something like that. Like, we just have the one soul, as far as I can tell. I guess we could have multiple souls that keep going to the Awakened, but it seems like we keep getting visions of the same past life. Like, it's not like we have hundreds of lives trying to take us over, kind of like Merwold or whatever his name was happened to him. And it doesn't seem like our past life was an incredibly terrible person besides working for the Leaden Key. I mean, we haven't seen our past life do anything truly horrific. So I don't know. I don't know. I feel like the game could have done better at that part. I just need to get to Theos.
I'm sorry to tell you this, but Theos cannot give you what you seek. Nor can any man. An awakening cannot be undone, any more than your past can be undone.
What's she mean? I thought Merwold. Yeah, I got the name right, I think. Said. Al's face is rigid. This is... permanent? What? Kana glances at you. But that can't be right. Not after everything. There must be someone else we can ask. Guys, okay. I guess I have to get into the idea that this is very dangerous for me. Sagani's gaze flickers to you. I'm sorry. Medicio, there must be some way. So this has all been for nothing, and I'm going to lose my mind.
The soul is formless without a past to shape it. Did you truly expect to be able to wipe it away?
No, but I had hoped it would be something I could forget. I'd rather have tried to put things right. I would live with it if I could. That or kill the man who brought it up. I had to believe in something. I didn't have a choice. I would live with it if I could.
That is the penance we all pay. But penance cannot be paid for a past only known in fragments and glimpses. However, as much as my sister speaks truly that there is no way back from an awakening, there may yet be a way forward. Would you agree, Shiva?
I would. Were the way not so likely to end in death.
You underestimate me. You underestimate my power.
Or perhaps you underestimate your foe, Old One. Where your soul is renewed in its ignorance in each span of your life, his only grows in cunning and resolve.
The man Theos you must already know by now. You are linked by a common past. Something about it lingers within you, festering, unresolved. What it is I cannot see any more than you. And without that knowledge, your doom is certain. But were you to learn the source of this discord, perhaps it could be put to rest. Though it is equally possible it will trouble you as much now as it did then, and merely speed your condition to its end.
My past comes to me in pieces. How do I unlock the rest?
You might wait for it to come on its own, of course. But when it comes, it will replace your sanity's last breath. Such is the nature of your condition.
I guess maybe I misread something, or because I know like the danger of going insane was presented to us when we found Merwold. I don't know. I just didn't get the idea that it was a certainty. Maybe that's my own fault though, and not necessarily the game's fault. Either way, at this point, they are pretty much saying, hey, you're going to go insane. Like, there's no escaping. So now, I guess our priorities shift quite drastically. And, yeah, we need to find Theos to get this done. We need to sort this out. And I guess they're saying Theos can't help us, but we need to... This becomes priority number one, because, I mean, if we go insane, then obviously we can't save the world, can, you know, stop Wyvern's legacy and whatever else Theos has planned. So, how do we stop it?
Or you could learn it from someone who already knows.
Theos. Would he remember?
It is said the gods made his memory perfect, that he may never forget his charge. If he ever knew, he still does.
Okay, so we still have to find Theos. So they're basically just saying we gotta do what we were going to do anyway.
Not that he would tell you, of course.
Oh, maybe not.
You have followed the right person for the wrong reason, it seems. We see it often beneath the elms. The soul dragging mind and body to unknown places for unfathomable reasons. You may have wandered into Theos' path many times, in many lifetimes, without an awakening to show you why.
See, that would be interesting to see more of. Like my other lives, you know, either getting in Theos' way or joining the Leaden Key and things like that. That'd be cool.
The only thing that's certain is you did not find what you sought.
You said you know where he went.
He has gone down beneath the tower to a place older than we, where the people of Engwith once walked. He makes his way to the buried city, Sun and Shadow.
May he stay down there and rot with the remains of his people.
He may yet. He won't be returning the way he came, that much is certain. He opened a secret path in the tower's base, and saw it destroyed behind him through some vile means.
Is there another way to get to him?
We know of one. On the burial isle, through the court of the penitents, Braeth Yaman. A shortcut, in fact.
Really?
Don't be cruel, sister.
Uh-oh.
The way my sister speaks of is not for the faint of heart. A great pit at the center of a forgotten court, where faiths were judged in place of crimes. To most, it is simply a gateway to death. With the help of the gods, it can take you where you want to go.
What do you mean, with the help of the gods?
The pit is said to have been a means of judgment by the gods. Those cast into it are meant to die. It is that way you must pass to reach Sun and Shadow. The court is old. We do not know much for certain, but it would seem only the gods themselves can grant passage.
What is this court?
No more than a ruin now. It is older than we. A place for the trial of heretics. We were not here to witness it, but at one time there was a group that refused to acknowledge the gods. Neither the first nor the last, of course, but these were numerous and all put on trial for it. Those who did not repent were cast into the pit and imprisoned below. The fall killed them, of course. The prison was not for people, but for their souls, and their sentences were eternal. It is said that many of the condemned repented and were permitted by the gods to ascend from the pit, so long as they pledged their service to one of them. But these are old legends.
How would I ever get the gods to help me?
Behind us is Ter Evron, said to pierce the shroud itself, and a place of communion with all gods. If ever there was a time for prayer, you have found it.
So the only way to get through this pit is to pray for help? Who would I pray to? Is there no other way? How do I pray? I have other questions. So the only way to get through this pit is to pray for help.
Not the only way. Just the only one that doesn't end with your body impaled on jagged rocks.
Okay. Who would I pray to? I mean, we know the answer to that, Margaret. Any god you can, I should think.
I would pray first to those gods you like best. I hope for your sake, the feeling is shared.
Ooh, that'd be really cool if we get to meet the gods. I mean, we met Audra, right? Wonder if she'd help us. Probably not. I mean, we kind of screwed her over, huh? Maybe Abaddon would be better to ask. Is there no other way?
None.
How do I pray?
Ter Evron is also called the Hall of Stars, and the stars show us the allegiances of the gods. When stars are in conjunction, we know the gods they represent are aligned as well. You should choose a place to pray where you'll be closest to those you want to hear you. If a god stands alone, you should pray to that god. If they band together, you should address them all. Choose your words wisely, for all gods expect proper homage, and none has patience for fools.
I have other questions.
What do you wish to know?
How did you know I was pursuing Theos?
The same way that you are no doubt able to peer into the ether and experience the souls of others. It is something we are born with, some more, some less. A gift common to many creatures of the wilds. You share certain similarities with the man you pursue. For your sake, I pray they are few and of no consequence.
You mentioned that people came to these elms without knowing why. A soul has a will of its own. Its needs and whims are seldom understood, but they follow them all the same.
There is something about this place that reaches beyond our understanding, something like a beacon. The elms have a way of uniting souls that have been seeking one another, with or without their owner's awareness. Sometimes it is for love, sometimes for vengeance, sometimes for peace. Often it is for no reason we will ever know. In your case, let us hope it is for peace.
Or vengeance.
I want to know about the two of you.
There is little to be said about us, for we are bound here, caretakers and defenders of this place. Our journey has been over time, but not distance, measured in observations, but not experiences. We have seen the elms grow tall. We have seen cities built, burned, and built again. The only constant has been the tower, a silent companion through the ages. You can imagine why this recent destruction has stirred my sister so.
If you do nothing else, make that man pay for what he did here.
I need to know about praying for the support of the gods.
We will tell you what we can.
Never mind, I know. Farewell.
Before you go, tell me this, old one. I'm curious. If you were to subdue your enemy, what would you do with him? What would give you peace?
I won't know until I get there. I need to understand our history so it may be put to rest. Nothing more. He must be destroyed. I would return him to the wheel of life and death, so he may trouble me no more. That's happened before, though, right? And then his soul just comes back, and bam, he's back at it. I wish to undo the harm he's caused. I would set him on a better path. Interesting. I would take his place and power for myself. What would Klesia do? What would Klesia do? Let's eliminate what she wouldn't do. That's actually kind of hard. She would not take his place and power for herself. As cool as that sounds, and one of these days I need to play an evil character in one of these games, because that'd be fun. But it's not this game. I would set him on a better path. That's a very interesting one. But also like a... I feel like that's one of those things that a protagonist would say that everybody's like, yeah, no way that's going to happen. It reminds me of something like... it reminds me of something that Naruto would say or something. Because he's one of those protagonists. I love Naruto, by the way. But he's one of those protagonists that I feel like just... He says straight up like the best possible solution that everybody else is like, everybody else is like ruled out as being impossible. And he's just like, nah, I'm going to do that. And they're all like, no way. And then he does it. And they're all like, oh, he's awesome. I wish to undo the harm he's caused. Yeah. I would return him to the wheel of life and death so he may trouble me no more. I think that's a pretty selfish one. I don't think she'd do that one. He must be destroyed. I need to understand our history so it may be put to rest. Nothing more. Probably not that one. This is tough. This is actually a really tough one. I don't know. So Klesia, she's being chased by the Leaden Key. Now she's been told that she's going to go insane. Theos is likely the cause of the legacy. He has murdered a lot of people, including people she would have probably considered at least allies with Lady Webb, if not friends. She's tried to kill him, or he's tried to kill her, rather. He must be destroyed. I think that one. He must be destroyed, right? That's a pretty aggressive one too, right? He must be destroyed. A just end for a vicious man. Give him our worst.
All the same, think on this matter. Be assured in your course. In the end, it may mean all the difference, not just to his soul, but to yours.
Interesting.
And be warned. Some questions have answers that can never be learned. And it is those that trouble the soul above all others. May you find an answer to yours.
Another batch of experience there. The Assassin at Large quest completed. Okay, so... Pray to the gods and tear Evron. Alright, well. I guess that's where we're going now, right? Yeah, we might as well do that. I need to know if there's a point of no return in this game. I think there is, and I think if I remember correctly, jumping into that pit that they talked about is the point of no return. If I remember correctly. I might take a little break in this loading screen and check real quick.